You might be in pain right now. You might be suffering from grief and dealing with loss. But something I want to tell you is that this is going to make your life better. Grief and loss are the most powerful teachers for love and appreciation. And this is something that I learned really recently. A few weeks ago, I lost the one thing that I really cared about the most. My car. But this was no ordinary car, okay? This was a 2002 Volkswagen Eurovan, dragon green pearl paint. It had a full-sized bed in the back, pop-up table, removable seats, and a tank of a V6 engine. Now you might be thinking, why would a van, especially a 20-year-old van, be your dream? Well, it started when I was in high school. I grew up in New York City, and I remember one time I was reading the New York Times magazine, and there was an article in the magazine about people that lived at Walmart. They lived and traveled from parking lot to parking lot and kind of stayed in their car. And for some reason, as a teenager, I thought that was the coolest thing. I'm in New York, everything is loud and smelly and in your face and make money, make money, make money. I didn't align with the culture of New York City at all. I wanted to get out badly. And that to me was the first dream that I had, where I said, if I can get myself in a van, I can always have an escape route and get out of New York and even sleep in a parking lot. And here's the other thing that I wanted to do as a teenager. I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to tour. So it was a win-win to find myself a van that I could depend on. So as a teenager and in my early 20s, I started working and saving and joining different bands and performing, and went to college, took some classes in music, got singing lessons, all that stuff. And I had that goal that I was gonna get out of New York, I was going to travel, and I was going to play music. So once I had a few thousand saved up, I immediately started scouring the internet looking for vans. And I remember one day my mom walked into my room and saw me looking for cars, and she said, "Why don't you try to get one of those old Volkswagen vans?" And although she was joking, I was like, why not? So I started looking at Volkswagen vans, and I discovered the Eurovan, and I thought this was it. This was the perfect car for me. It was so unique, and I'm a unique person. I didn't want a car that looked like everyone else's car. I wanted it to be mine, and it was my identity. It was so perfect for me. So I start cold calling auto listings that had once sold a Eurovan. Even if the listing was from years ago, I was calling them up like, do you think you'll get another one? Where do you think I can find one? You got any buddies? Hello, hello, hello. Calling auctions and things. Until one day I called German Auto Solutions down in Amityville, Long Island. And I called them up and I said, "You got a Eurovan for sale?" And they said, "You know what? We just bought one and we're fixing it up right now. I can't believe the timing." And they said, "You're the first one to know about it, so when it's done, we'll give you a call and it's all yours." I grabbed my skateboard, bought a ticket on the Long Island Railroad, rode out to Amityville and skated there, put $5,000 in cash on the table. They tossed me the keys, and I got the dream machine. And there I was, out on the road, sleeping in Walmarts, putting up my curtains, making my bed, and playing open mics and seeing the country in a whole new way. I took my band on the road. We played as far as Canada, Toronto, Montreal. We went over to Minneapolis, Chicago. We saw cities that we would have never seen. Milwaukee, St. Louis. We went all the way down to New Orleans and even over to Florida and all the way back up. And it was a magical ride. Eventually, a few years ago, I got to move out of New York, and I always had my safe space, my car. Now, here's the thing. This car was an endless money pit. I might have bought it for $5,000, but I probably put at least another 30 in repairs. It was an old car. It was German. I needed German parts if I could find them. I had to scour eBay and junkyards. It had a ton of miles on it. I bought it at 114,000 miles. And the layout of the car was like a Frankenstein. Volkswagen took Audi stuff and other Volkswagen car stuff, and they just made this engine that most mechanics didn't even want to touch. Some people didn't even want to change my oil. But no matter what, I told myself that I am committed to keeping it alive. If I had the will and I had the means, I would do it. This was the car I always wanted, and even if you handed me $1 million, I would just put it into the van. And my goal was ultimately to get that van to 300,000 miles. I believed that I could do it. I was on top of it. I did car washes, oil changed. I was on top of it. But ultimately, a few weeks ago, I'm driving up to a gig, hitting the road with my band, and it was a hot July day, and I pulled into Wawa on the phone with my therapist, and I noticed as I parked in Wawa, after I filled up my gas tank, I noticed a little steam coming from my engine, and I said, hold on, I think my car's overheating. So I popped the hood up and I look, and what do I see? A little flickering flame. And I thought, uh-oh, my car's on fire. So I run into Wawa. I said, hey guys, do you guys have a fire extinguisher? My car's on fire. And I pull a fire extinguisher off the wall. I run out, and the whole engine is up in flames. And I get a fire extinguisher and put it out, and I sit in this parking lot for the next few hours, pretty much knowing that this is probably the end. And as the fire department came and hosed it down, and we put it on yet another tow truck, I knew that I probably have to let this one go. I bought the van at 114,000 miles. I think it's ending at around 240 plus thousand miles. So in 8 years, we got well over 120,000 miles. But the current state I'm in, I no longer really have the means that I used to. Not working in New York City anymore, making the big bucks. I might no longer have the will to keep her alive after all that I kept investing and stressing myself out and waiting for the other shoe to drop and waiting for the next repair. I realized that I was living in fear and stress with my car. As much as I enjoyed it, I was scared for what was going to happen next. And it's kind of like the situation where if you have a really old pet that's sick, and the surgery to keep them alive is going to be tens of thousands of dollars, and then even if you do that, you don't know how much time you're going to have left. You don't know to what extent the damage actually is. So if you go through all of that, there's no telling that you'll have any type of success after. And as I'm on the phone with German mechanics, they're all telling me the writing's on the wall. The van has too many miles. There's no parts. There's no point. Here's ultimately what I want you to learn from this story and what I've learned from this experience. I've learned how to appreciate by finally letting it go. Instead of focusing on what I wasn't able to do yet, instead of focusing on the goal I wasn't able to accomplish in getting the car to 300,000 miles, it's not what we didn't get to do. It's what we were able to do and what we were able to overcome. Because nothing really lasts forever, relationships, people, jobs, living situations, cars. The only thing that really lasts forever is our memory. Our memories and our experiences and how we use them and how we turn these memories and these experiences into better versions of us. How can we turn that past into a better present? How can we have our better present lead to a better future? Ultimately, this is my lesson for you. If you're suffering with grief or dealing with loss, we have to find a way to deeply appreciate what we had, deeply appreciate those memories, and not just try to get rid of this pain, because there's so much beauty in it. Grief and loss are probably the biggest teachers of love. And when you have something in your life now, or you'll get something in your life in the future, you may have a deeper appreciation for it now that you've experienced this loss. I know that I have a deeper appreciation for everything that is in my life now, from my family to my living situation to my community. Everything that I feel right now, I feel from losing that car, having to let go of the stress that I was putting myself under to keep it in my life. When we let go of that thing, we let go of the control. And when we let go of the control in life, we're finally able to appreciate it and be more present with it. I really hope you enjoyed my story. I hope that this gave you all the hope that you need to keep going, to keep healing, to keep grieving, and to just allow these feelings to happen, and always try to shift from the pain and the sorrow and the sadness into the appreciation, into the love, because you have the ability to choose what this experience means to you. You get to write the meaning. You get to do it. So if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. It's a way to give back to me and show your appreciation if you're into it. You can also subscribe to the channel. I would love if you did that and checked out the other stuff that I have going on, because everything on my channel is designed to help you be a better version of yourself. And if you're in your 20s, I want you to check this video out. These are 3 huge mistakes that I made in my 20s that you might be able to learn from as well. And if you're seriously suffering in a depression right now, just take 90 seconds down here. This is a video that'll help reframe your brain out of this depression, and again, looking into the appreciation of things. But aside from that, I have some videos coming up that are going to be about letting go. So keep your eyes open. I will have a video on letting go, and this is the most powerful thing that you can do. I will see you in these next videos. Stay creative.